if only it could all be that clear. One thing though that what are challenges I bump into is in my little organisation, for example, whereas an organisation will have strategic objectives and will have cross-functional initiatives that we're going to set up and drive to hit those. We also empower functional heads to get on and do stuff, and we also have product groups that are there to define and develop our products. So we kind of separate the change investments from the product type investments and the business as usual. We have a resource pool that pulls across those things. So I guess one of the challenges for portfolio management is to engage with the organisation to be able to prioritise not just between the investments but across choices for product development and or accelerated or contracted business as usual performance. What are your viewpoints on that?
That transparency about what's going on. And if there isn't transparency, then you're never going to know. So there needs to be that transparency about what are we trying, what are the portfolio objectives, and where do they fit in the context of our strategic objectives, and what is the role of in your model. I mean, these are all conceptual models. It's the old OGC, run the business, change the business, which is a simplification, but at least it helps us understand. And so you're split between business as usual or product groups and the factory or operations and the change portfolio. Okay, but there needs to be that transparency about how is the whole thing going to kind of fit together at a high level. I don't mean in the kind of we spoke. I don't mean in a detailed Soviet planner sense where every penny is added up. No, I mean, in the sense of material. What is the material contribution? What's going on? Otherwise, you end up as we did in Justice, where we had projects going into, so we were going to deliver 100,000 worth of savings, and you go in and you deploy, and then you find out someone changed the process last week, and they've saved the money already. And so you're saying, look, and then you end up saying, stop doing your simple changes that deliver improvement because we're going to do it anyway. Well, then we shouldn't be doing what we're doing. So you do need to coordinate those three branches, and I think that's the role of oversight. That's the responsibility of governance, and so that I suppose comes back to the very rationale for your conference, David. That's the rationale of creating that transparency, so that we can see what is the contribution of those various domains: the product domain, the operational business as usual domain, and the portfolio domain.